Life doesn't come without challenges. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a financial crisis, or simply feeling lost in a chaotic world, we've all faced moments when we wonder, where is God in this? The good news is, the Bible is filled with stories of people who endured unimaginable hardships, and through their faith, they not only survived but grew stronger. Today, let's explore what the Bible teaches us about faith in hard times and how these timeless lessons can help us in our own struggles. Let's start with Job, a man who lost everything: his wealth, his health, and even his children. His friends accused him, his wife told him to curse God and die, but Job clung to his faith. In Job 1:21, he says, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Job's story reminds us that even when life feels unbearable, trusting God's plan can bring restoration. In the end, God restored everything Job lost, and more. Have you ever felt like Job? Maybe you faced the sudden loss of a job, or the weight of losing someone you love. Like Job, we may not always understand why we suffer, but we can trust that God sees the bigger picture. Next, think about Joseph. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and falsely imprisoned, Joseph spent years in circumstances that seemed hopeless, yet he never stopped trusting God. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph's story reminds us that even when others hurt us or circumstances feel unfair, God can turn those situations around for good. Maybe you've been betrayed by someone close to you. Maybe you've faced rejection or injustice. Joseph's life shows us that staying faithful, even in the waiting, allows God to work in ways we cannot imagine. Then there's David, a man after God's own heart, who spent years running for his life from King Saul, hiding in caves. David must have felt forgotten by God. Yet in Psalm 34:18, David writes, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Even in his fear, David worshipped and trusted God. Have you ever felt like you were hiding in a cave? Maybe anxiety or depression has you feeling isolated and alone. David's story teaches us that worship and prayer are powerful weapons against despair. Even in your darkest moments, God is with you. So how do we grow our faith when life feels like it's falling apart? First, cling to God's promises in His Word. Scriptures like Isaiah 41:10, "Do not fear, for I am with you," and Romans 8:28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him," remind us that God is always present and working for our good. Second, surround yourself with a community of believers. In Galatians 6:2, Paul writes, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." Sharing your struggles with others allows God to work through their encouragement and support. Finally, never stop praying. Even when you don't have the words, Romans 8:26 assures us that the Spirit intercedes for us with groans that words cannot express. No matter what you're facing today, know this: God is with you. He sees your pain, He hears your prayers, and He is working behind the scenes for your good. As it says in James 1:2-3, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Hold on, trust His timing, and let your faith be your anchor. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who might need it today. Let's remind the world that no matter how dark the storm, God's light never fades.